BJP has thrown its weight behind Sushma Swaraj. News just coming in. Party President Amit Shah has defended the External Affairs Minister in the Lalit Modi controversy. Amit Shah also took a jibe at the Congress, saying that it has not supported Lalit Modi the way Congress aided Quattrochi in the Bofors scam and Warren Anderson in the Bhopal gas tragedy case. This follows hectic behind-the-scenes activities in the BJP with Rajnath Singh, the Home Minister, meeting Prime Minister Modi after the PM discussed the issue with Sushma Swaraj herself. Brijesh Pandey is now joining us with more details. Brijesh, with that defense by the BJP President of Sushma Swaraj, does it appear that the External Affairs Minister is safe at the moment?
Well, absolutely. I think this particular response by BJP Party President Amit Shah has definitely scotched off any rumors which were doing the round that, her position is in danger. There have been a flurry of meetings between the top BJP leaders, including Home Minister Rajnath Singh meeting Prime Minister Narendra Modi at noon for 20 minutes. And after that, after due deliberation with other senior leaders, it was decided that the BJP President Amit Shah should come forward and issue a statement. Remember, Maha, this is in absolute sync with what happened 3-4 months back when Rajnath Singh's name was, there was a story about Rajnath Singh's son being implicit in taking bribes and all. And that was also BJP Party President Amit Shah had come forward, and this time also it is his soundbite which has come forward, and he's the only person of any significance who has spoken till now, because there has been a deafening silence as far as the BJP is concerned since morning, ever since this story broke out.
Yes, absolutely. And after the RSS went ahead and supported Sushma Swaraj, now we have the BJP President Amit Shah also coming out in strong defense of Sushma Swaraj. Let's listen in once again to Amit Shah. Smita Sharma, Deputy Editor, is now joining us with more details. She's standing outside Sushma Swaraj's residence. Smita, the RSS has come out in Sushma Swaraj's defense. The BJP has also now come out in her defense. Are we then likely to see Sushma Swaraj herself come out and speak to the media, or was her defense through Twitter is where she will end it?
Well, we were told, in fact, this morning itself by her staff that whatever she had to say, she's already said that on Twitter. And remember, sources also, in fact, suggested to India Today, which we reported some time back, that Sushma Swaraj went out and posted those arguments in her defense on Twitter only after having that telephonic conversation with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So we see that clear line of defense now emerging right from the RSS to the BJP top brass. Amit Shah they're speaking, which is the reason why Sambit Patra, who was here in consultation with Sushma Swaraj at that 8th Safdarjung Lane residence, when he left, he did not, of course, interact with the media. We are also expecting, in fact, a formal statement to be brought out at the level of the government itself. But clearly, remember, Sushma Swaraj is a high-profile leader, though she's maintained a distance from media in the last 1 year. Yes. There's no reason in her professional capacity as External Affairs Minister for the Prime Minister to have been annoyed with her. She's been ranked as one of the best-serving ministers, and also as leader of opposition, the soundbite that we were playing for our viewers a short while ago, where she had, of course, raked up that entire IPL investigation and demanded a joint parliamentary probe, trying to actually put the spotlight on NCP leaders like Sharad Pawar and Praful Patel, who were a part of the IPL as well. So clearly, questions will continue to be raised, and perhaps you saw that measured response from Salman Khurshid, who, despite being a Congress leader, also knows that in his capacity as External Affairs Minister, there are a lot of times that these letters come in asking them to intervene. But the party here, the BJP here, sticking to that line that whatever Sushma Swaraj did only on a humanitarian ground, and also raising the ghosts of Bofors once again by equating this by saying that the BJP did not support in the way Congress supported perhaps a Warren Anderson in the Bhopal gas tragedy issue or a Quattrochi in that Bofors case. Maha?
Executive Editor Javed Ansari is also here with us in the studio. Javed, we saw Amit Shah come out and say almost the same thing that Sushma Swaraj has put out in her defense, saying that she took the decision only on humanitarian grounds. But that has already been called a very weak defense by the Congress, saying that would the BJP or the External Affairs Minister go ahead and help any other fugitive in the way she has Lalit Modi? Do you think then that the defense that the BJP has given may over the next couple of days fall flat, that they may be cornered over this issue?
Well, Maha, what we can safely say is that the last has certainly not been heard on this issue. I'm not surprised that the BJP has come out backing Sushma Swaraj, more so after the RSS lent its weight behind her. So therefore, it's not surprising. The opposition, much would also depend on how the opposition can politicize this issue, milk this issue, whether they have it in them to sustain this campaign against her, and whether there will be more revelations. Monsoon session is still a couple of weeks away, so it will be incumbent upon the opposition to try and find ways and means of keeping this issue alive. But come monsoon session, I'm sure this issue will once again resurface and resonate in Parliament.
Also, Javed, a lot of guests, and especially Aam Aadmi Party's Ashutosh, pointed out that this is a gang war within the Modi government. What do you suspect as the groups that are playing out at the moment, this game that is being played out?
Look, Sushma Swaraj's case has not been helped by the fact that she's been popularly voted as being the best performing minister.
Yes.
This has certainly not gone down well. We also know that prior to Mr. Modi's arrival at the centre, Sushma Swaraj was considered a potential BJP leader were they to ever come to government. So there are others who are not very happy with the fact that Sushma Swaraj is taking all the accolades, and therefore there could be more than a grain of truth to what is being said. Exactly who is behind this, who is the individual or individuals behind it, we do not know for sure. It's difficult to say till you have entire proof.
Yes.
While we can second guess, we don't have proof, and therefore one should resist the temptation of naming people till you have proof.
All right, Rajnath Singh is speaking at the moment. Let's quickly listen into him. All right, Home Minister Rajnath Singh, remember, had met in a 20-minute closed-door meeting with Prime Minister Narendra Modi just a short while back. They had discussed the issue of Sushma Swaraj and the controversy surrounding her over Lalit Modi threadbare, after which BJP President Amit Shah came out backing Sushma Swaraj, saying that the decision she took on Lalit Modi, that he be granted travel documents by the British government, were solely on humanitarian grounds. He also took a jibe at the Congress. Let's now quickly listen into Home Minister Rajnath Singh first. There you have it. Home Minister Rajnath Singh also coming out in strong defense for Sushma Swaraj. Javed, you heard Rajnath Singh there mincing no words in saying that we find the excuse or the reason that Sushma Swaraj has placed before them and the public on the Lalit Modi issue is absolutely justified. Yeah,
he's come out batting strongly on behalf of Sushma Swaraj. He strongly endorsed the action. He says it was absolutely right. Anybody with with an iota of humanism in him would have done that, and so therefore he says there's absolutely no question of any action. The government is fully behind her. Sushma Swaraj can now breathe easy.
Sushma Swaraj safe at the moment. Let's quickly listen into Nicola Smith. We spoke to her just a short while back from the Sunday Times. She's the one who was tracking that story in the UK along with her team.
We were initially tracking the case because Keith Vaz was involved, a very prominent British MP, and during the course of the investigation, we realised that he had also mentioned Mrs. Swaraj's name when he was in a communication to a senior Home Office official in the UK, which is why we then started to look at this side of the story as well. I personally wasn't speaking to Keith Vaz, so I don't know all of the details of his response, because there was a team of us working on this, and my colleague Dipesh in the UK was dealing with Mr. Vaz. But what we do know from his correspondence that we've seen is that he did say that Mrs. Swaraj had said that the Indian government had no objections to Mr. Modi being granted UK travel documents. Well, we're obviously still investigating that, but from what we've seen so far, he did make representations to the UK's highest immigration officer, Sarah Rapson, on Mr. Modi's behalf. And we're just looking at the question of whether he brought pressure to bear on her to grant him the travel documents. They were initially refused, and then that decision was reversed. So that's basically the thrust of our story at the London end. From what we've seen in the correspondence, it appears that she told Keith Vaz that there would be no adverse effects on British-Indian relations if Mr. Modi was granted the travel documents. We're not sure about the extent of the correspondence between Keith Vaz and Mrs. Swaraj. We did ask that question to Mrs. Swaraj, but we didn't receive a response on that particular point. But we're also not sure whether she was speaking in a personal capacity or whether she was speaking on behalf of the whole of the Indian government at that point. That's also not clear from the response that she gave to us on Friday to the story.
Deputy Editor Smita Sharma is now joining us from outside Sushma Swaraj's residence. Smita, even though the BJP has come out in strong defense of Sushma Swaraj, saying that the decision she took was purely on humanitarian grounds, there are certain questions that have not been answered. The question about why Sushma Swaraj's husband got a thank you message, as to whether there was any exchange of promises that was made when Lalit Modi was granted that travel documents, in the sense that one of her relatives got admission in one of the universities in the UK. All those questions still remain. Is the government likely to, over the course of the next few days, also clarify on those issues, or are they likely to just push it under the carpet, brush it under the carpet?
Okay, Ma, to answer your first question first, as far as that allegation of a nephew having been given admission to a law degree at the Sussex University is concerned, Sushma Swaraj responded to that as well, saying that Jyotirmay, in fact, actually was admitted into the Sussex University in 2013, which was a year before the NDA government really came to power, thus suggesting that she was not in that kind of an influential position to have gone ahead with that. So dismissing of that allegation. Now, what the government here really is trying to do is, according to me, is they're trying to take this controversy back to Keith Vaz's doorstep by saying, look, Sushma Swaraj intervened only in the form where she also asked the UK High Commission and the UK authorities to abide by their own rule books as well. So thereby perhaps suggesting and bringing in the deniability clause for future, where they could say that maybe Keith Vaz actually invoked Sushma Swaraj's name more than was required. And that is something that will be looked into by a parliamentary committee also in the UK, which will be probing if there was an MP's breach of code of conduct there or not. Keith Vaz, in fact, interestingly, is also standing for re-elections of that House committee, yes, of which he was the chairman when he wrote that letter. B, also, the BJP now actually turning it back into a political, of course, war of words by bringing up those, comparisons of a Warren Anderson or a Quattrochi, suggesting that, listen, for anybody who knows Mr. Narendra Modi and his style of functioning, one thing is very clear. Mr. Modi is clearly not the kind of man who acts because there is a report out in pressure. He is not the kind of man who will let go of his team, even if he has had personal problems with them in the past. In the case of Sushma Swaraj, we've known that she was somebody who belonged to the Advani camp, yes, before Narendra Modi was endorsed as the prime ministerial candidate of the BJP. But despite that, he is not the man who will ask Ms. Sushma Swaraj to go, because there are media reports that have surfaced. So clearly, we will see the BJP now turning it into a bigger political war, especially with the Congress.
All right. In fact, even though the BJP has come out in defense of Sushma Swaraj, the opposition has hit out at her for helping Lalit Modi get travel documents in Britain. The Congress has asked for Sushma Swaraj's resignation over the issue. Let's listen in to some reactions coming in from opposition leaders on the issue.
ये सारी बातें एक बहुत ही मैं समझता हूं गंभीर है कि भारत की विदेश मंत्री ऐसे व्यक्ति की सिफारिश कर रही हैं जो कि भारत से के कानून से भगोड़ा साबित हो गया है। मैं अपील करता हूं सुषमा जी से कि वे मॉरल ग्राउंड पर तत्काल इस्तीफा दे दें।